Hello friends, in this session we will be talking about what is the exact concept of space to time. Let's begin. Yes. So now speaking about case 5. Case 5 is a very important case. Why? Because in case 5 we are going to discuss 4 pole. Basically in case 5 what are we going to do? Till now what we did? See here. 2 poles were there. 2 poles only we have done. Let us do for 4 poles and then we will analyze. Okay, so now let us talk about 4 poles. See, now let me call one more case here. Let us take case 5.1. You will understand why I am trying to say it. 5.1. Now see here. Let me have one stator like this. Okay. Now see here. Come on, focus. Let me have first of all a 4 pole rotor. Let us say this is N, this is S, this is N and this is S. This is shaft K. Yes, we have already discussed that we are going to use always heteropolar structure. Heteropolar means sir, NS and S, right? Already we have talked about it. But now I have never told you why we are using heteropolar. A time will come wherein we will understand that why homopolar machines are not existing. Anyways, coming back here, see. Yeah. These are the 4 poles. Now, let me take 2 conductors, A and A dash. Here I have A and here I have A dash. Yeah, now see, since I am doing space to time, which means input is space, which means poles have to be rotated. Poles have to be rotated means let us say that I am rotating this whole rotor structure in anti-clockwise direction. Let us say. Now, see here, what is going to happen? Just see, focus. What will be the induced EMF in A? Let us think of what will be the induced EMF in A. We know that since it is a north pole, here we have N pole. N pole means flux lines will be coming out of the N pole, right? And here is our conductor A. We need to find EMF induced in A. We already know that it has to be dot, but then again, repeat again. Let us see. This is N. This is going to be the flux. Now this flux is moving in this particular direction, which means with respect to flux, this conductor is going to move in this direction. The moment this conductor is moving in, right, this particular, so what is going to happen? This is flux, conductor is in this direction, EMF is going to be dot here, right, out of the board. So this is going to be dot. Let us think of this one. See here. We know that this particular pole is rotating in anti-clockwise, which means this structure is going to move like this. The moment this structure is going to move like this is going to move in this direction. The moment this is going to move in this direction, what does that mean? With respect to the flux, see, let us think about flux, see here. What will be the flux for the north pole? Out of this thing, iron piece, which means this is the flux. The moment it is the flux. Now, let me tell you one thing. Since this particular flux is moving in anti-clockwise direction, what is going to happen? With respect to this flux, my conductor is going to move in this direction. Now, come on, focus. Very important. See, this is where the point is. See, these are the flux line out of the N pole. These are the flux lines. This is conductor moving in that direction, right? Flux lines here, this direction. Induced EMF is dot. Now what will happen? Induced EMF is dot. There also it is dot, here also it is dot. Let us try to understand what will be the total EMF. Maximum EMF is there. Maximum EMF will be produced here. No doubt. Here also maximum EMF will be produced. But in case of machine, what we have? In case of a rotating machine, what we have? We have a back-to-back connection. The moment we have a back-to-back connection, what is going to happen? Let us see. For example, For example, this is going to be conductor A. This is going to be, let us say, conductor A dash, right? And this is conductor. Now, there will be a back-to-back connection like this, and it forms a turn. Now, same thing as we did earlier. Let us do. See here, dot EMF induced here is dot, which means A will be dot here, A dash will be dot here. Now, come on, see, very important. What will be the voltage across these turns? What will be this VT? Voltage of the turns. Let us see. See, since it is dot, means it is outwards. Right, see, this is A, this is A dash. Outwards EMF, A dash. Outwards is the EMF, induced EMF. So, here if you see, what is going to happen? This is A dash, so which means EMF of conductor is going to be this way. Now, come on. What about this? Same, outward only, na? So, here also, EMF of the conductor is going to be in this way. Now, let us see what happens. See, since it is dot, what I said, my assumption is that it is, for example, positive. So, here is positive. The moment it is positive, this is going to become negative. Right? So, here also if you see, this is going to be positive. This is positive. Then here it is going to be negative. Now, let us try to find out. KVL. Let us apply KVL to find VT. Yes. Let us apply KVL. See, very important. Now, while applying KVL, what will we do? Let us have current in clockwise direction. Let me have current in clockwise direction. Now see, what is going to happen? Very simple KVL. See, whatever sign is touched first means here if you see, first time it is going to be plus E conductor. Then next if you see here, it is going to touch for this element, it is going to touch minus first, so this is going to become minus E conductor. Right, and for this VT, what is going to happen? It is going to touch minus VT first, minus and first touch, no? Right? Minus VT, which is equal to 0. Perfect. Now, what will be VT? VT is going to be conductor by conductor 0. Now see here, very important point. Yes, I agree with you that here in case of A, there was maximum positive EMF induced. Here also in case of A dash, maximum positive EMF was induced. But what is the EMF across the turn? It is 0. So this is the reason. Now see here, in the previous case, if you observe, see here. Yes. Here if you observe, what was happening here? See, here since A was dot, A dash was cross. What happened? EMF got doubled. Here A was dot, A dash was cross. So EMF got doubled. Now here when both are dot, EMF becomes 0. Voltage across the turn becomes 0. So moral of the story is, see, moral of the story is, now see, what do we observe? We observe that if one conductor has positive maximum EMF induced, then other conductor should have negative maximum EMF induced. Why? Because at the end we will have back-to-back connection, and voltage will be doubled. Now, what does this mean? 4-pole RMF, if you remember, there I directly put A here, A dash here. A here, A dash here. Now you must have understood that in that case, why I did not have A here at A dash here. Moral of the story, in case of 4 pole, the mechanical angle in space between A and A dash has to be 90 degrees and not 180 degrees. Let us try to understand what happens in case of 90 degrees. Let us see. So this was our case 5.1. Let us take next case. Case number 5.2, if you see. Case number 5.2, if you see here. Let me have stator here. Right? Like this. Now, see here, very important. See. This was conductor A. And this is going to be conductor A dash. No. A dash has to be 90 degrees now. What is going to happen if it is placed here, we are going to discuss, don't worry. But it should not be placed here, that we have understood. For 4 pole, A and A dash cannot be mechanically displaced by 180 degrees, that we have understood. Why it should be 90 degrees, you will understand in a minute. Just stay focused. Now, see here, let me just erase this conductor. Let us say I have only 2 conductors, A and A dash. Now I have 4 pole. This is going to be 4 pole. Now see here, NS, this is shaft, NS. Why? Heteropolar structure, already we have discussed. Now this is A and A dash. Now you just see what is going to happen. Just see the magic. When, let us say this is rotated in this direction. Now what is going to happen? See, A will have what? What kind of EMF? See here. Flux is in this direction. Flux is moving in this direction, which means A will move in opposite direction like this. Again, see here. Flux is in this direction, right? Since flux is moving in anti-clockwise direction, with respect to flux, now conductor will move in clockwise direction. Conductor is going to move in this direction virtually. Now, what is the induced EMF in A? What is the polarity? Let us see. This is the flux, motion of the conductor. This is flux, motion of conductor. Induced EMF is dot. Is it dot? Now, let me think of here. In case of south, what is happening? See, the moment it is south, what will happen? Flux will come inside. Right? Means flux direction will be like this. Flux will come inside. Right? Since it is south, flux will come inside because I will be sitting in the air gap. What do I see? In case of south pole, flux has to go into the what do you say? Iron piece. Now, see here, very important. This is A dash. This is going to be A dash, right? Now, very important. Since this particular rotor is going to move in anti-clockwise direction this way, right? Which means, see here, flux is going in this particular direction, but flux is at the same time rotating in this direction. The moment flux with respect, see here, this particular conductor with respect to flux will move in this direction. Already we know that. Already we have done it many times. Thousands of times we have done, I guess. So, what is going to happen? This is going to be the flux. This is the direction of the motion of the conductor. Why? Because flux is moving in this direction. So, with respect to flux, conductor is moving in this direction. Now, this is going to be the conductor direction. Induced EMF is into the board. Is it cross? Induced EMF is cross. Now you please tell me, don't you think so that here voltage will be doubled? Of course it is going to be doubled. In this case, voltage has to be doubled. Now, let us think about one more. But now, here if you see, in case of 4-pole structure, right now I have only placed 2 conductors. You please tell me, can I place 2 more conductors here? Of course I can place. So, I have placed them here. This is under North Pole, this is under South Pole. What is going to happen? Same story will repeat. See, flux is in this direction, out of the board. Flux is going to be out here like this, out of the pole. So flux is here out, right? Now, what about the, and yes, at the same time this particular pole is going to rotate in this direction, which means with respect to flux, my conductor is going to move in this direction. Now very simple, just apply right hand rule. Flux, conductor, dot. I hope it is clear. Now next, now should be this A or A dash. We already know from our conventions, dot will be A only. So this is A, and let us say this is going to be A dash. This cannot be A dash. Why? We know that back-to-back connection cannot be possible. Connection will be possible, but EMF will be 0. Voltage across the turn will be 0, right? Now, see here. This is dot. What about this? This has to be cross now. Verify. See here. This is South Pole. Flux is moving into the board, and it is going to move like this in clockwise. Which means what is going to happen with respect to my flux? Flux is going to like this, move in anti-clockwise direction, which means with respect to flux, my conductor is moving in this direction. Conductor is moving in this direction. What is going to happen? Flux is this way, conductor is this way. It is going to be cross. Induced EMF is shown by cross into the board. This is done, right?
Yes. So now if you observe, basically we have two coils here. We have two coils, right? This A and A dash, and this is another coil, A and A dash, A dash, A dash, right? Now see here, very important. The moment I have two coils, let me have those two coils here. Let us say this is A dash, A dash, right? And here we have dot, here we have cross, here we have dot, here we have cross. Right? Dot cross. Now, these two coils, of course, this one will be connected to this, and now we have these two coils. Now, what to do with these two coils? Yes, you are right. Either we can connect them in series or in parallel. You have two coils, you have nothing else to do, you have only two options. What are those? Series and parallel. So either I will have them in series or in parallel. No. How will be the connection? Let us see. Let us say this is first coil. This is A. This is A dash. Now I have second coil. A dash. Right? These two coils are connected in series. Connected in series. And let me have this two terminals out. Now, what is the advantage and what is the disadvantage? We have to understand. See, these are the basics and we have to understand them at the very beginning only. Otherwise, at the end, you will feel, sir, you are saying series, parallel, what is happening, current, voltage, we can't understand anything, where is flux and all. That is the reason we are spending more time on the basics. These basics are very, very important, believe me or not, but it is important. At the end, you will get the clarity. Now, yes, now you please tell me, what will be the voltage here? See, this is voltage of one coil, this is voltage of another coil. The moment this voltage, these particular coils are in series, what will happen? Voltage will be doubled here, means here I will get doubled, the voltage will be increased. Means, for example, this is, let us say, so now, this is, let us say, plus and minus. For example, this is, let us say, 100 volt coil. It is going to generate, let us say, 100 volt. And this particular one is, let us say, generating 100 volt EMF. Now, basically, what will happen? At the end, you will get here 200 volts. Because they are in series. Now, what about the current capacity? Current capacity, let us say. For example, this one coil is designed in such a way that 10 ampere current flows through it. 10 ampere will be the current capacity. Current capacity. Right? See, you have designed one coil of this one. You have designed one coil. Its area of cross section and all etc. Means, for example, I'll just tell you one thing. I'll just tell you this basic. Say here. What is that exactly? We know this is current density J. What is it? Current density J is nothing but equal to I upon ACU. Right? So this is area of copper, area of cross section of the copper. This is, for example, the coil, area of the cross section of the copper. So this is I upon ACU. Now we know that current density for a conductor, whether copper, whether aluminum, whether a particular conductor, the current density is constant. The moment we say current density is constant, I is proportional to ACU. Which means if area of the copper is, for example, predefined for, let us say, 10 ampere current, so maximum 10 ampere current can only flow through it. If you flow, for example, if you said no sir, I will flow 20 ampere current, what will happen? It will burn. So its current carrying capacity means the maximum current that can flow through the conductor is, for example, 10 ampere. So in this case, if it is, for example, 10 ampere, and for this one also it is going to be, let us say, 10 ampere. So at the load, at this end, how much current can flow? 10 ampere only, because just you make 11 ampere here, both of them are gone, burned. I hope you are understanding the point. So this is going to be current. Current is going to be constant. Current constant in the sense current carrying capacity. Current carrying capacity is going to be constant. Now let us see what happens in parallel. Let us see what happens in parallel. See, very easy. You are going to love this discussion. See, this is one coil, A dash. This is another coil, A dash. And now you are connecting them parallel like this. Now what about the voltage? Voltage will be plus or minus V. Is the voltage increased? No. Whatever voltage is there around this first coil, the same will be there along the second coil. So voltage is going to be constant here. Constant. Now, what about current? What about current? Current capacity of this one is, let us say, 10 ampere. And this one also, let us say, it is 10 ampere. So at the load, I can utilize up to 20 ampere, because 10 ampere will be taken by this, 10 ampere will be supported by this. So at load, I can utilize 20 amperes. Right? Here in this case, you cannot flow 20 ampere. Why? Because both of them will burn. Why? Because both of them are in series. Both of the coils are designed at how many amperes? 10 amperes only. Both of the coils are designed, their current carrying capacity is designed at 10 amperes only. But here also it is designed at 10 ampere, but still at the output, because if this one will support 10 ampere, this is also 10 ampere. So you can have 20 amperes current at the load. Means you can utilize the coils up to 20 amperes. So current carrying capacity will be increased. So here if you see what is going to happen, voltage is increased. In that case, what is going to happen? Voltage is constant. Here in this case, current is constant. Here in this case, current carrying capacity will be increased. These are the advantages and disadvantages of having series and parallel connection of the coils. Now see here, very important. This is all about case 5. That is what I wanted to tell you. What are the observations here? If you see, what are the observations? Very simple. In case of 4-pole, A and A dash cannot be placed mechanically in space displaced by 180 degrees. Cannot be done. in case of 4 pole, you have to keep them displaced by 90 degrees only. This is the first observation which we did, right? Now, what is the other observation? Other observation is, in case of 4 pole, I can have 2 more conductors here, and then they can be either placed in series or in parallel. And accordingly, these are the advantages and disadvantages we have discussed. Now, let us see case 6. Yes. Speaking about case C, what is going to happen in case C? In case C, we will be dealing with the same 4 pole only, but now we will be having 3 phase. By the way, you please tell me one thing here. Is it 2 phase or single phase? Single phase, right? Because A dash, it is going to be one single coil only. These 2 turns or these 2 coils will be connected either in series and parallel, and at the end you will get only one. So this is going to be single phase only. I hope I am clear. And another reason that it is not 2 phase. What is that reason? Because in case of 2 phase, what we have to do? In case of 2 phase, what we have to do? We need to have time displaced currents, which is not done here. So now let us take 3 phase. Yes. Now 4 poles and 3 phases. Let us see how to do. For example, I have a stator. Yes. Now see here, very important. How many poles do I have? 4 poles I am considering. So let me have 4 poles. Rotor shaft. Right? Now, see here. What about the conductors? In case of 4 pole, we have seen that. In case of 2 pole, if you observe, in case of 2 pole, we know that what was the distance between A and A dash mechanically in space? It was 180 degrees. In case of 4 pole, that 180 degrees became halved, and it became how much? 90 degrees. So let us have one phase. Let us say this is A. This is A dash. No, A. This is going to be A dash. Why? Because this is under North Pole, this is under South Pole. Here you will have positive maximum induced voltage. Here you will have what? Negative maximum induced voltage. Both will be clubbed together by using back-to-back connection, and then EMF will be doubled. We know the reason. Now here is A dash, and of course here is going to be A dash. Now where will be B? Because we are talking about 3 phase, right? So where is going to be B? Let us see. Let me have these angles 30, 60, 90. 30, 60, 90. 30, 60, 90. 30, 60, 90. Yes. Now see here. When angles in 2 pole, just in case of 2 pole, what we observe, the mechanical displacement in space between A and A dash was 180 degrees. In case of 4 pole, it became halved. So now, in case of 2 pole, what was the mechanical displacement between A and B? 120 degrees. So here also, it is going to be halved, 60 degrees. So if here is A, where will be B after 60 degrees? So 30, 60, this is going to be B. Right. Now, if this is B, after 30, 60, 90, B dash will come. 30, 60, 90. Here is going to be B dash, because A and A dash, what is the distance? 90 degrees. So B and B dash also 90 degrees. Similarly, if we have got B, what is next? C. So C will be 30, 60. Right? 30, 60, I will get C. Now 30, 60, 90, C dash. Right? Now this is A. What you want? You want B. So it is going to be 30, 60, B. Now this is A dash. Now C. This is B. What you want? 30, 60, C. What about C dash? 30, 60, 90. Right? Now, what is going to be here? This is B. 30, 60, you have got C. And this is B. 30, 60, 90. You will get B dash. I hope it is clear now. Right? Now you must have understood as to why in the previous RMF, our things, right? We took all these things directly, but now we have understood why we are halving the angles, why we are taking the angles half. Now we have understood the reason, and we are doing it with reason. That is the reason whenever I say for time being, believe me, so please believe me. At the end, you will get the whole clarity. At the end, you will get the clarity for sure. Now, see here. All the windings are there, no problem. Let us have A. Now, since it is space to time, what will I do? This is North Pole. Let this be omega. Now, what is going to happen? What will be the induced EMF in A? Flux is in this direction. See here. Flux is in this direction. Right? Space to time is there, which means input is space. Input is space means what? Rotating magnetic field means not rotating magnetic field. Poles have to be rotated. The moment poles have to be rotated, what is going to happen? See, this is the flux. Flux is moving in this direction, rotating in this direction, which means with respect to flux, conductor is going to move in this direction. Now, see here. This is flux. This is going to be the motion of the conductor. This is flux, motion of the conductor. This is going to show me EMF. So, EMF is what? Dot. Now, you please tell me, help me for A dash. What is going to happen? This is South Pole. We know that for South Pole, flux will go into incoming. The moment flux is going to be incoming, we have understood how it will flow. It will flow like this. This is my flux. Now, see here. What is going to happen next? This is omega. We are going to rotate the poles in anti-clockwise direction, which means flux is going to move in this direction. The moment this flux is moving in this direction, with respect to flux, conductor is moving in this direction. Mind you again, let me tell you again, conductor is not moving, conductor is moving virtually. Because it is a stator, it cannot move. It is moving virtually with respect to flux. Now, see here. This was the flux, this was the direction of motion of the conductor. This is flux, this is motion of conductor. What is going to happen into the board? This is cross. So basically, this is dot and this is cross, which we have got. Similarly, if you try out for this one also, you will get dot here, you will get cross here. Right? Yes. So now basically what have we understood? See here. The moment this north comes here, this south will go here, north will go here, south will go there. Am I right? Space to time means what? By rotating in space, by rotating poles in space, you are getting induced EMFs there. This is nothing but space to time. Right? Now, what is important for me is next. See here. Only focus on this conductor A. Only focus on this conductor A. Right? Now see, let us see what is going to happen in the conductor A. What is going to happen? After 90 degree, let us say this is 0 degree. See here. For example, at the first instant, what is going to happen? This is conductor A. EMF is going to be what? Positive maximum here. Right? Now, once this north pole is shifted here, south pole is shifted here, means once it is rotated by 90 degrees. Once it is rotated by 90 degrees, what is going to happen then? This north gets shifted here, this south gets shifted here. Means this A, which had dot, will now have cross. Means it is going to be negative maximum. Right? Just by movement of 90 degrees. Now, if I am moving this north pole to 180 degrees, then what will happen? If this north pole, see here. North pole is firstly here. Rotor is in this way. The moment this gets shifted by 90 degrees, this north will come here. Right? Now, the moment it gets shifted more, means 180 degrees now, then in that case what is going to happen? The moment this is going to become north, that is also going to become north again. Means this north will again come here, north, and north will be there. I hope it is clear what I am saying. See here. Come on again. At first 90 degrees, what happened? When I shifted this for the first time by 90 degrees, this north came here, this south came here. Am I right or wrong? Yes. Now, after 180 degrees, what happened? Right? So, since this particular south came here, this particular south came here, it now became what? Cross. Cross means negative maximum. Now, what will happen next? The moment this north comes here, after 180 degrees, after 90 degrees of rotation, what happened? We have seen. After 180 degrees of rotation, what is going to happen? This north will come here, this south will come here, this north will come here, and this north, which was initially here, will now come here. This will become north. I hope it is clear. See, again. First 90 degrees, what happened? First 90 degrees. See here. Let me have these two. North, north. First 90 degrees. This case, what happened? First 90 degrees, north got shifted here. This became north, this became north now. After 180 degrees means further 90 degrees more. North came here, north came here. This is north and this is north. Second case, you also have north. After 180 degrees, again there is positive maximum. Again, after 270 degrees, what is going to happen? After 270 degrees, what is going to happen? This is north here, right? This north will come here now. And again, south will go up, which means it will again become negative maximum. I hope it is clear. You are understanding, right, what I am saying? See again. Let me tell you one more time. Final. See, these are the two north poles, right? When this was north, this was north. A was having what? A was having dot, which means it was having positive maximum induced voltage. So this was it. Now, when north poles are there. North pole. North was initial here. After 90 degrees, south came here. This north got shifted here. This south got shifted up. So now it will be having negative maximum. Now, after again 90 degrees, what is going to happen? Means at 180 degrees, what is going to happen? Again, it will have dot, which means it will have positive maximum. Again, after 90 degrees, what is going to happen? It is going to have negative maximum here, and then again it is going to have positive maximum because north pole is again coming up. So at 360, it is going to have again positive maximum. What do you mean by this? If you see from zero, what happened at zero we don't know. Let us see what is happening. See, let me just draw this. See, let me draw. What happened at zero? Not interested. 90, 180, 270, 360. What happened here? Let us see. At 90, if you see, what was there? Negative maximum was there at 90. At 90, if you see, it was negative maximum. At 180, it became positive maximum. Then, at 270, it became negative maximum. Then, at 360, it became positive maximum. So, what is going to happen here? Just join them. Like this. I hope you understood it. See here. Now, if you see what has happened, see here. What is the distance between? If you see here, it was maximum, and here it was another maximum. Means these two maximums came after 180 degrees. See here, this was 90 and this was 270. Distance between them is 180 degrees. Again, more 90 and 90, which means what do we mean? We say that when one rotation is completed in space, one rotation of 360 degrees is completed in space, my induced EMF, see induced EMF EA, my induced EMF will be completing 2 cycles. These are 2 cycles, no? I hope you are understanding what I am saying. These are 2 cycles, right? Why they are 2 cycles? See, this is how much, this is how much. See, for example, this one. Let us take these two. These are going to be the 2 maximum points, right? Here, if you see, what is the distance between them? 180 degrees. Basically, in case of this one, sine wave, what we see is, this is at 0 degrees, right? 0 degrees means when it was not rotated. North was here, south, north was here. These two were north. After 90 degrees, what happened? Negative maximum. Further 90 degrees, positive maximum. Further this, negative maximum. And then positive maximum. I hope I am clear, right? Now, see here. What happened exactly? Let me draw a graph. What happened to EA? This is 0. Let me have 90 degrees here. 180, 270, and here I have 360. Now see here what is going to happen. At 0, it was what? Positive maximum. Why it was positive maximum? This was north, this was north. Dot only, right? So at 0 it was positive maximum. First point we got. What happened at 90 degrees? 90 degrees it become negative maximum. What about 180 degrees? 180 degrees it became positive maximum. Then what about 270 degrees? 270 degrees it again became negative maximum. What about 360 degrees? It again became positive maximum. What does this mean? Let me just join this. Like this. Now, you please tell me how many cycles are completed. Let us measure how many cycles are completed in time. So now, here if you see what is going to happen, joining the points, right? Now see here, from 0 to 360 degrees, how many cycles are completed? Let us see. This is one cycle. Do you agree? This is one cycle. This is one cycle. Do you agree? This is not there. Up to 360 only we are going to think. This is not there. Right? This is in time, by the way. Whatever is happening here in time. Now, here if you see, one cycle is completed, and this is another half cycle, means it becomes 1.5 cycle, and this is 1/4 and 1/4, which actually makes up two cycles. So, moral of the story is what? Very important. Moral of the story is what? Moral of the story is what? Space to time. See here. Moral of the story is when my poles are rotated in space by 360 degrees. When my poles are rotated in space by 360 degrees, which means when my poles complete one rotation. When my poles complete one rotation, EMF induced completes 2 cycles. I get 2 cycles of complete induced EMF. So this will give 2 cycles of induced EMF. Right? Now let us just take it here. Now, please help me with this. One rotation gives you 2 cycles. Now, n rotations will give you how many cycles? Come on, n rotations will give you how many cycles? 2n cycles. 1 is giving 2, n will give 2n cycles. 2 into n, right? This is nothing but 1 only. N into 1. That is what we have done. Anyways, now this is going to be 2n cycles. What is going to be RPS means n rotations per second. If we think of n rotations per second, if we think of, then here what we get? Here we will get very simple. What is that? This will become 2n cycles per second. Per second. Now, what about n RPM? Means if this is per second, if there are n number of, small n number of rotations per second, then how many rotations will be there for 1 minute? 1 second you have n, so for 60 seconds you will have 60 into n. So this is going to be 60 into n rotations per minute. In 1 second you are getting n rotations. In 60 seconds how much you will get? 60 into n, and 60 seconds means what? Rotation per minute only. So this is going to be 60 into n RPM. Now here if you see, what do we get? Just replace. See here you will get 2 into, this is n, right? N is nothing but 60 into n now. Cycles. n will become 60 into n. Here if you have replaced n by 60 into n and you made it RPM, so now here also you will make it per minute, which means per 60 seconds. Here it is rotation per minute, which means here it is going to be this many cycles per minute. A minute is what? 60 seconds. Now, what is going to happen? Let us see. Now, what is this? This is 60 seconds, right? Now, what is the meaning of cycles per second? Which means this has to go here, this has to go up, and that is going to become n. Now, let us replace. Rather than saying 60 into n RPM, let us say 60 into n is capital N. For n RPM, what do we get here? For n RPM means this is going to become n. Now, what is going to happen? See. Now, this whole thing, if you see, it is nothing but frequency only. So, frequency is going to be what? Frequency is time, right? What is going to be the frequency? Frequency is going to be 2 into n. 2 into n. Cycles per second will be there, 60 is coming here. I hope it is clear. It is going to be 2n by 60 hertz. Or we can say cycles per second. Cycles per second is nothing but hertz only. So, this is going to be for 4 poles. Now, we just need to compare and then find what is going to happen for p poles. Let us see what happens for p pole. In case of 2 poles, if you observe, what have we got? F is equal to n by 60 cycles per second. Let me just write it down. N by 60 cycles per second. Just remember that. So for 2 pole, what you had? N by 60 cycles per second. This was F, right? Which is nothing but n by 60 hertz, right? Cycles per second is nothing but hertz only. So, see here. Just compare these two. This is for 2 pole and this is for 4 pole. Now just compare them, you will get the formula. See here. When it was 2 poles, when there were 2 poles, if you observe, here was 1. 1 into n is n, no? And when here were 4 poles, here it became 2. When there were 2 poles, here there was 1. When there were 4 poles, here there are 2. The rest of the formula remains the same. What is the meaning of that? Can I replace this 1 or can I replace this 2 by p by 2? For p poles, what is going to happen? For p poles, see, again. For 2 poles, if you see, for 2 poles, here you have 1. For 4 poles, here you have 2. What will you have for p poles? P by 2, because 4 by 2 will be 2, 2 by 2 will be 1. So, F is equal to P by 2, rest will be the same, N by 60. What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Very easy. What does this mean? This is going to be what? F is equal to Pn by 120. Here if you see, N is going to be the space input, space input, and this is going to be the output in time. Now, let me tell you one thing. We all know the formula for N. N is going to be what? N was, if you see, N was 120 F upon P. Right? And if you just basically rearrange them, rearrange means if you just keep this F here, N into P upon 120, N into P upon 120, you will get the same thing. So this was, but now there is a problem. What is the problem? Are they same? That is the question. Are they same? Answer is no. Why? Because here if you see, input is space, output is time. And here if you see, input is time and output is going to be space. So basically n is equal to 120 f upon p and f is equal to p into n by 120 are not same. Mathematically you may take them same, but you need to understand in your brain, in your mind, you should know that these two are not same. Thank you.